Henry picks out Arsenal concerns ahead of Atletico Madrid Champions League clash. Arsenal legend Theirry Henry identifies to concerns ahead of the Gunners' Champions League semi-final clash against Atletico Madrid. Theirry Henry has pinpointed to potential worries for Arsenal ahead of their Champions League clash with Atletico Madrid. The Gunners face the Spanish outfit in the first leg of their semi-final Wednesday evening at the Metropolitano Stadium. Mikel Arteta's side head into the tie following a 1-0 triumph over Newcastle United in the Premier League, a result that lifted them back above Manchester City at the summit of the table. Arsenal now return to Champions League duties and will be aiming to move closer to the final in Budapest, where either Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern Munich would await them. Yet Arsenal icon Henry has issued a cautionary message to his former club by highlighting two areas of concern ahead of the clash with Atletico, reports Football.London. Unfortunately, the pros did not change too much, especially after the game against Newcastle. Solid, set pieces, Henry said on CBS Sports Golazo on Tuesday night. One thing that we did notice is that the team looked a bit fatigued. I've been there, physically and mentally, when you play for the title, and you have to play in Europe, it's draining. And we all saw the lack of creativity that might be an issue. Arteta looked ahead to Arsenal's meeting with Atletico when speaking to the media at the Metropolitano Stadium in Madrid. The Gunners' manager was quizzed about the side's recent goal-scoring record and outlined why it requires attention. "Well, we have to do better," Arteta said. "We can take shots, the quality of those shots. And it was a great example in Newcastle, where it can happen. So we want to improve in every department, but at the same time, to be where we are sitting here tonight, you have to be exceptional. One of the top 4 teams in Europe to be here. So imagine how difficult that is." When pressed on the upcoming clash against Atletico, Arteta added, "We have prepared the game to win it. There's no question about that. We have to be ourselves and do what we do constantly with our opponent. And then, okay, let's see what the team throws, the level that we can show, the quality that we can show. And hopefully that's going to be the case." Arsenal legend Theirry Henry has responded to criticism of head coach Mikel Arteta ahead of Wednesday's match against Atletico Madrid. The Gunners have endured a difficult April as their hopes of winning an unprecedented quadruple have ended, having failed in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Arsenal's Premier League title hopes have also faded, with Man City to win the race if they take maximum points from their remaining matches. Arteta's side have the welcome distraction of their Champions League semi-final first leg against Atletico Madrid on Wednesday night, though. The Arsenal boss will come under immense pressure if they fail to win a single trophy this season, and he has also faced criticism over his overly pragmatic style of play. But Henry has encouraged Arsenal supporters to accept Arteta's way of playing. Atletico lost at the Emirates. I think it was 4-0 in the league phase, which doesn't tell you a lot, but it tells you it's a game where we created, actually, Henry told CBS Sports. But it will be different. The win, Arsenal against Newcastle, in terms of how we played, wasn't outstanding, but it's way better to go into that game with a win against Newcastle. So let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. It's not so much what I want to see. People are expecting or wanting Arsenal to play a certain way now. They didn't the whole year. Why do you want them now to just go forward and start to create? They play a certain way. Mikel Arteta plays a certain way. We're strong on set pieces, solid. We don't create a lot. I would just like to see a win that will do for me and bring something to the Emirates. You have to be pragmatic sometimes. You cannot always be Bayern Munich or Paris Saint-Germain. We play a different way. I think people have to accept the fact that Mikel Arteta goes about the game like that, and hopefully we can win. Arsenal and Arteta have arguably been made to look worse by the remarkable football on show during PSG's extraordinary 5-4 win against Bayern Munich on Tuesday. And despite defending Arsenal, Henry has acknowledged how much he enjoyed the crazy game between PSG and Bayern Munich. Risks. We've been talking about how we watch a lot of teams that do not take any risks, Henry added on PSG versus Bayern Munich. Wingers that don't dribble, people that don't go forward, and they're thinking about not losing the game instead of winning it. Well, tonight, we have plenty of risk situations at times. Maybe if you think about it, and if you have your defensive hat on, you'll go crazy on some stuff that you might see or what you saw tonight. But I don't care. You know what? We've been complaining for more than 1 year, or 1.5 or 2 years, that football is boring in brackets and whatnot. That game wasn't boring, and again, if you put your professional hat on, we're gonna have to analyze some stuff about the goals that were conceded. But you know what? I enjoy myself, and I think everybody at home enjoyed themselves. It's just crazy, as you said. That's a score you see normally on aggregate at the end of a tie. You saw that. It was just crazy at times.